Hi, I'm Emily.
And I'm Percy.
And in this video, we're going to be answering a viewer question about when women have a fear of having sex with someone too soon for fearing that they will leave. So let me read what the viewer had said. You could have dove into your fears and why those fears are there. That would have been helpful for you and the audience. They would have learned about IFS, internal family systems. More importantly, identify this common fear of women. If I have sex with him, he will leave. And look for guarantees or reassurances from the guy that it won't happen. So I think the women in this audience can relate to this a lot. And how do we speak for that fear? And in this video, Percy is going to actually coach me in real time about this fear that I have. And whatever comes out, I think that you can also probably relate.
Relationships, there's a part of you that feels afraid to have sex. Can we
Yes,
from that
yes,
situation?
we're all sexual beings, and especially if there's sexual chemistry, we want to have sex. And if you're in a newer relationship, go out on a few dates, and you're thinking in the back of your mind, when is it okay to have sex without getting dumped?
Mm-hmm. So there's a part of you that wants to have sex.
Of course there is,
Right.
especially if there's sexual chemistry from the get-go.
Right.
You're just like, oh, how fast or how slow do we do this?
Right, and a part of you that's afraid of having sex too soon.
Right.
Okay.
For fear that that was all that he wanted.
So it sounds like you really understand this part of you that wants to have sex. You're friends with that part.
Yes.
And don't understand as well the part that is afraid of having sex too soon. So go ahead and say hello to that part of you that is afraid of having sex too soon. Mm-hmm. How are you feeling towards it right now?
I am feeling curious. I see this part of me as like old granny professor image with like glasses on. And saying, Emily, no, you can't do that too soon. He's gonna dump you. So it's like this older, wiser figure trying to teach me the lessons of life.
Why don't you ask her, what is she afraid might happen if you do have sex?
Whatever too soon means, that I will be ghosted. We won't have another date, and that he's on to the next one. So I'll feel rejected. I'll feel like a slut. I'll feel shame. That like, what? I thought this was okay.
You can ask this part, is she protecting a part of you that feels shame?
The part of me that felt a lot of shame growing up Asian, because I was discriminated against a lot and just didn't feel like I belonged. And I think as this part grew older and the initial sexual experiences in college happened, those were all short term. Maybe that's the part that it's protecting, because none of them turned into long-term relationships, which is what I wanted, because I watched some of my friends have these beautiful long-term relationships around me in college. That part of me was like so jealous of watching that, and that I couldn't have it. And I felt like, am I really that weird that nobody wants to have me as a girlfriend?
What I'm hearing is that this granny part you said is protecting a part of you that feels shame for not having long-term relationships.
Yeah, you're right.
Ask the granny part. Did you call her the granny part?
I called her yeah, she looked like a granny.
Okay.
Yeah, the part.
Does she mind me calling her that?
Nope,
Okay.
not at all.
Okay.
It's just easier than saying it's the granny part that's like reminding you, don't have sex too soon.
Okay. So ask the granny part, if there weren't shame to that extent, would she feel the need to work so hard to protect you from that?
No.
Okay. Would she be okay with us working and helping you to let go of that shame so that she doesn't have to work so hard?
Yeah, she's okay with that.
Okay, great. So thank her. And let's turn our attention to this part that was feeling the shame. Check in with that part and see how you're feeling towards that part.
I feel sorry for her. Because she just like felt so alone in college. Like she was so different. And just being made fun of for being Asian. Because back then at Cornell there weren't as many Asians in that school as there is now. So there was still a feeling of isolation that carried over from junior high and high school into college. And she's just like expressing like, when are we going to get a break? when are we going to be accepted for who we are? Do they just want to use us for sex? Because they're drunk? I mean, she knew she was cute and it's, so she didn't have a problem with that. It wasn't like, oh, I'm ugly and that's why they don't want me. No, it wasn't that. It was just like, I gave my body to you, and once or twice or 3 times or whatever, I just felt used, and yeah, felt used. And then the guys were also thinking back, they didn't know what they were doing. Those were probably their initial sexual experiences. So it wasn't anything satisfying.
Is there anything more that she wants you to know about that experience for her?
No.
So she feels like you completely get it as far as how she feels at that point.
Yeah. Now that we're like identifying what this is, I just wonder how, like, because of those experiences, you know, this granny part is like forming all these rules that just sound so masculine. And I just wonder, like, when I had that initial experience, after getting back into the dating pool, after having a connected friendship, and then saying, okay, this is going to be safe. I'm not having a one-night stand. I mean, you know, first date sex or whatever. This should be safe. And it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like the granny part is trying to keep you from having to feel that way again. And in this case, she wasn't successful in doing that.
Yeah, she wasn't successful, and then she just erected these, like, even stricter boundaries for the next guy.
That's right.
And for the next guy, I was like, that just totally turned him off. This is my way or the highway. I so appreciate that this person was able to allow me to have this conversation with him, you know, with your guidance to say, you know, with him smothering his sexual energy towards me, it freaked out the granny part. To say, is this going to happen again? But yeah, it was actually having the opposite effect, because he got turned off by that rule.
The granny part has agreed to allow you to work with this shame, this part that was feeling the shame, so that she doesn't have to do that anymore. And so this part of you that's feeling the shame, you can ask her, is there anything more that she would like to show you about her past experience?
No, because that's essentially the bulk of my past experiences before I met my then husband at 24. So between the ages of 18 and 24, it was just a whole series of short-term relationships. Even after college, it was like short-term.
Did you accidentally summon me?
Yes, we
Sorry.
did.
Siri just turned on. This is
We
bizarre.
did accidentally summon you.
Anyhow, let's go back. All right, we have somebody in our studio audience in case you're hearing
Siri
laughter.
occasionally interrupts my therapy sessions as well. She does that all the time. Yeah.
So I had these short-term relationships, and then I went into my marriage. So I was married to the same person for 30 years, and now that I'm back out into the dating arena, it's like, how do I navigate this?
It sounds like the part of you that was feeling the shame showed you what she wants you to see.
Yeah.
Okay. And she feels completely understood by you now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't you imagine stepping into that scene with her and being there for her in whatever way you could have really used someone to be there for you at that time. And then see what that feels like.
Wow, I have my arms wrapped around her. It's like, come on, let's get out of these fraternity party scenes. Because usually that's where guys were, and there was a scene in the, like, Florida spring break in the back of a station wagon. Yeah, she's also there. And yeah, so all these short-term experiences created some of that shame. It's like, oh, nobody wanted me. And then I guess it reactivated this, like, whoa, can't have sex too soon. And then I didn't. And then because now I know, because the right conversation wasn't had, that this guy ended up, like, ghosting anyways. So it's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. And then granny part went into even more rigid frame of, okay, no sex for 8 dates. And now I realize that based on one of our last videos, it's like, you can't have that arbitrary number. It all depends on the kind of connection you have and the kind of agreement that you made between two people's parts. So Granny's got to like look at all of that.
Let's recap. So you're with this younger you, and she's feeling like, oh, people want her body, but they don't want her. They don't want to really connect with her.
Right.
So that has to be a really shameful feeling. Like, okay, people want this, but they don't want me.
Yeah, that's how I feel objectified.
Yeah. Getting that about her, how would you like to respond to her?
Respond to the vulnerable parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to say to her, it's not your fault that you were used, because the boys, the men, they just didn't know any better, and you didn't know how to communicate for your needs. You weren't taught how. You have to forgive these men, and that moving forward, Granny part can just take a nap. I've got the situation. I know how to speak for the part of me that would like to have connection, not put an arbitrary number around it, but also just express the desire for the other person, and to say, let's explore whether I want to be in a committed partnership. Before that, that's a conversation that has to happen between the two people, because if the other person doesn't want to wait until a committed partnership, because they don't know if they even want you in that way, I have to decide, what am I willing to play with? Am I willing to let loose of these granny rules? It's my decision. It doesn't have to be society's rules about monogamy, or you have to wait until there's enough emotional connection and make sure that no one's going to go outside of the relationship.
So I want to pause this, because it sounds like right now we're talking to the granny.
Yeah.
Let's allow the granny to take a step back.
Okay.
And let's stay with the girl.
Okay.
Okay. And see if you can feel into emotionally, what does the girl need right now?
Basically, she just needs to know that I've got it. She doesn't have to be afraid. And that, if we do get rejected, we'll survive. There's no guarantee that no one's ever going to reject us anymore. It's still part of the dating process, and we have to be okay with it.
How's she responding to that?
She's like, okay, if you know how to handle this, then I guess I'm going to have to be okay with this.
Okay. So there's a part of me that wonders, and it may be totally off, is this girl feeling undervalued in a way?
By me or by somebody else?
By somebody else.
Yes, it did happen during a date where she felt unseen. Like, whoa, okay, stop with all this sexual smothering. I'm not having sex with you right now or today or tonight. And then this person's like, it's just who I am. I'm not gonna have, I'm just like expressing my attraction to you. So I think I went into PTSD mode, as opposed to accepting the fact that this person is so hot for me. And to appreciate, to like let her know, we've got this, we're gonna play with this. Accept the fact he's so intensely hot for you, and enjoy that moment. And he's not crossing your boundaries. No, this guy didn't cross my boundaries at all. Yeah, she feels valued now that I am now acknowledging her in this session to say, okay, I see you. I know you exist. I've known you existed, but I've never have really talked to you fully. So she's feeling valued that I'm taking the time to get to know her.
So she feels the value now. She's not feeling shame anymore.
Right. Because she feels like she's not so alone anymore. She's with me.
Good. You can ask her, would she like to leave that scene with you?
Yeah, let's get out of that fraternity party scene.
Okay. So you can take her somewhere where she feels safe and comfortable.
She could come here with me in my apartment right here.
Excellent.
Okay.
How's she feel here?
Much safer.
Excellent. So you can ask her, is there anything she wants to do with you while she's here?
Nah, she'll just chill out here. Maybe she'll help me buy some lingerie. Who knows?
Cool. So it sounds like she's pretty comfortable here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything that she would like your help with letting go of that she feels is still burdensome to her?
That's sex is a cookie that you hold back for a long time.
Mm-hmm. So that's something that feels burdensome to her, an idea that feels burdensome to her.
Yeah. Because it's about all these other people's rules about when sex should happen. She could make her own rules. Yeah.
Sounds good. So does she feel ready to let that go?
Yeah.
How would she like to let that go?
Let's just burn it in the fireplace of that fraternity house. A fraternity house that I went to a lot of parties there. Okay.
Okay. Is it all gone?
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, it's gone.
So ask her, would she like to take in anything to replace that?
We don't have to follow the strict, arbitrary rules that have been put on us by society or authority figures. The new rule is we get to make our own rules. Yeah, that sounds good.
Sounds like a pretty cool new rule, huh?
Yeah, yes, it does.
Yeah.
Yes, it
So
does.
she's good with that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So check in with her, see if she would need anything else from you right now.
No, I mean, she's good for now.
Okay.
Good for now. We'll negotiate what needs to be different
Great.
and change as different situations come on board.
Cool. So since she's doing well, how about we call in the granny part? See how she's...
Okay, Granny.
Has she been paying attention to what's been happening?
Yeah, she's okay with the new way of doing things, so she could relax and say, "You mean I don't have to like keep watching over you to say, stop? You gotta like call this guy to say we're only doing this or not doing this, or it's gotta wait for a certain time period." It's like, okay, I don't have to like make you do that anymore.
Okay. Is there any new job that she would like to have?
Have fun. Have like be flirty and fun. Be flirty and fun and see what unfolds from being free in that sexual energy of just like expressing the sexy goddess part.
So the granny part would like that, would like to see that happen. I'd like to encourage you to do that.
Maybe she needs to change her clothes.
Oh, go ahead, let her change her clothes. I wonder what she's going to change into.
She's got to take off her glasses. She's got to dye her hair. She's got to put on a lacy teddy.
Oh.
Maybe that's
Come on,
a
Granny.
girl. Come on, Granny. You're not a granny anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's a role she's been dying to take on.
Yeah,
And then when things need to be reeled in, she'll know how to like help me just step in and say, hold on.
Right.
This guy is too much of a pushover. You can't trust him. So we are not going there.
Right.
So she could keep me safe.
Right. So you get to make up the rules as you go, but for the purpose of keeping you safe.
Yes.
Yeah. See if that part, I don't know if she still wants to be called granny part or...
She could be my unleash the sexiness part.
Okay. So check and see if the unleash the sexiness part. Unleash the sexiness. See if the unleash the sexiness part needs anything else to happen.
No, she's all good. She's all good that, the college part is like safe with me, and me as 56-year-old can make my own decisions about how to navigate the future and just share the rules, whatever these rules that I come up with, rules that work for me with the men that come into my life.
Okay. So you mind if we try something a little bit extra?
Sure.
So I want you to imagine being somewhere in the future.
Right.
You're on a date.
Right.
And the feeling of the question of sexuality is in the air.
Whether or not to have sex.
And I want you to feel into that and see how you'll make that determination. What feels right to you as far as how to go about that.
Let this like unleash the sexiness part out of just expressing what it wants. And that email that you showed me earlier, which we'll make another video on, of someone else sending to you their desire for you. It's like, wow. Wow. And how you said that, it was so hot for you to receive that kind of validation to say, I want you right now.
Yeah.
I never really have given myself permission to do that. To like express how like, oh my God, I'm so hot for you now. Because usually I'm expecting the guy to like say the same thing to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that women are really taught how to be in their masculine energy that is actually sexy, the sexy masculine energy.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the stuff that the other YouTube channels, the videos, they don't teach that.
There's a part of you that seems to be coming out that's saying, yeah, I want to declare my sexual desire.
Yeah, instead of just like, I'm just going to surrender, because that's what we keep getting taught. Be in your feminine energy and just like surrender. And just wait for Prince Charming to come along.
Mm-hmm. What's happening right now, so since it's true that when you're imagining yourself in this future scenario, Granny's gotten out of the way.
Right.
And you are unleashing the sexiness and saying, hey, this is my sexual desire. That naturally comes from you right now.
Right. Not to make it just a one-way thing from just me, but to play in that dance of mutual attraction.
To allow the sexiness to be there.
To allow so that the man is like, oh my gosh, she's just as hot for me as I am for her. I've never experienced this kind of confidence.
Mm-hmm. Which is, yeah.
Which
is sexy, yeah.
Right. Which you as a man, I mean, this is beautiful how we have this channel where you get to express, oh my gosh, that is just so hot.
Oh yeah.
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 Cool.
Because now you don't have to do all the work, because it's a dance.
Right, it's a dance. We can switch roles if we need to. So sounds like you're pretty much where you need to be as far as future dates go. Anything else that you feel like needs to happen?
No, I think that's it. I mean, I'm even feeling like more confident with this.
Awesome.
Are you sensing my energy change?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
Way to
Wow,
go.
that's interesting. I'm like blushing because.
Cool. Well, that's the internal shift. So.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Yeah, because we even did that other video a while back where you coached me to like unleash my sexy goddess part, but that was within the framework of trying to do it to make sure my business will be okay with me showing that sexier side of me.
Mm-hmm.
But this is a whole different angle and doorway that we went in.
Cool. Hey, well, by the time we're through with you, they're gonna have to watch out.
I guess so. Yeah, wait until the men watch these videos.
Oh, they'll
my
be eating
gosh.
them up, I'm sure. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, well, glad
Thanks,
we could share
Percy.
this. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Emily and I do put a lot of time into these videos. We would really appreciate it if you were to hit like if you like this video. And also feel free to subscribe to the channel. And we always love to get feedback. If we do get a question from you, we will make sure to address it.
Yeah, you could have your own personal love, dating, and sex questions answered from both of us anonymously. So feel free to email us, and the email is included in the link below. It's greatloveandsex@gmail.com.
Excellent. See you next time.
Bye.